Amidst the fuel scandal at the Guyana Oil Company Limited, GUYOIL, the proprietor of Aaron's Royalty Incorporated, Jason Aaron, on Wednesday night revealed his version of the details surrounding an alleged fraudulent transaction involving him and two other senior officials of GUYOIL. He was at the time speaking via the APNU AFC program In the Ring on Facebook, hosted by Member of Parliament Sherrod Duncan. The businessman alleged to Duncan and his viewership that he was contacted by two officials from the oil company, Akani Blair, who served as a member of the board, and Sean Passad, who is the company's chief financial officer, on a number of occasions, and even in the wee hours of the morning at times.
So the gentlemen came, they identified themselves as one Sean Passad and the other person is Akani Blair. So the guy who brought them, he said that these guys need to have a conversation with you, and as long as we come to an agreement, there's potential for us to have some business done.
While the businessman alleges that he acted as a middleman between the supplier and purchaser, he claimed that he hadn't any documents to allow him to trade locally, and further that he was in the process of setting up shop in Guyana. It is further alleged by the businessman that the fuel he was asked to supply was for consumption by the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated through an existing supply agreement it has with GUYOIL. It is the businessman's claim that he was handed a copy of that contract between the two companies as assurance that once the fuel arrived in the country, he would receive his money.
I am in possession of the contract that was signed between GUYOIL and GPL. Now, a person who is an outsider from a government entity, how would I be able to get something like that?
Aaron claims that during his initial conversation with the duo, the price he was offering for a barrel of oil was $42, but was told to quote for $57 instead, a difference of $15 per barrel of oil. However, things went south after the two officials of GUYOIL apparently got wind of a better deal, and this agitated the businessman, whose shipment of oil had already arrived in the country. He said he was expecting to be paid for that shipment as agreed upon between the parties. Failure to carry through with the transaction and being left with a large quantity of product at his disposal with nowhere to store the commodity. The businessman said this caused him to become further incensed, which led to him speaking out on the matter. Meanwhile, at a press conference on Wednesday, His Excellency Dr. Irfan Ali was adamant that no fraud was committed at the oil company.
No fraud was committed because no transaction was entered into. But what is of great importance to us is to have a review of the system to ensure that the system is rigid and strong enough at every tier to deal with any potential from a company or an individual wanting to commit a fraud. And that is what we're evaluating. We've also made it very clear that all those who had inappropriate contact must be removed.
Trevor Basu, former general manager of the company, who resigned shortly after the scandal surfaced, maintained his innocence and also said that his resignation had nothing to do with the scandal, but rather the environment of the company. Aaron has since supported this claim by stating that Basu was contacted only after the transaction failed to materialize.
I never had an engagement with Mr. Basu until the persons who visit my residence start to backpedal from the transaction. Mr. Basu and I never had a conversation until I requested his number from my marketing director in the United States of America. I did not have a number for Mr. Basu. Mr. Basu did not even know who I was.
Wendell Badri, HGP Nightly News.